How are you doing? How was your weekend? I am here today and hopefully won't be interrupted because I am coming on live after closing. I close at 8 o'clock, so I am here to talk. Let me pull up. I had been given some tips on what others would want to talk about. Let me put myself on pause. I don't want to. I pulled my YouTube up on the computer so I can chat you guys if you have any questions. Now let me find those questions I was talking about. I should have went here. There we go. You guys go ahead and tell me, how was your weekend? How was your week last week? I was come on here and talk to you guys on Monday, so I never get a chance to hear about your week. I'm actually happy that I decided to go live after I closed because I had two customers this evening. So that would have cut the live short again. So I'm happy that I decided to just go ahead and go live after I close. Let's see. All right, it's not here. A long and busy day with family, Sharon? Or are you talking about your week? A long and busy week with family? Was it a special occasion? Let me see. I'm looking for... I am sleepy. Hi, Nicole. I am so sleepy. Let me tell you guys. My kids went to school today. They started back to school today. And my daughter started high school. In high school, they start really early. So I had to wake up earlier than I usually would. I'll tell you guys, I'm so sleepy. I am so sleepy. I took pictures with them this morning and I could see the sleep all in my face. I'm like, I look terrible. I look so bad. Okay, Sharon. Well, that's good. That's good that you were with family. Me and my little family, we had a busy weekend. Excuse me. We had a busy weekend. My kids' birthday is today, but we celebrated their birthday on Saturday with friends. We took them to their favorite restaurant, which I'm so tired of that restaurant, but Benihana is their favorite restaurant. And if they are not asking to go there, they're asking to go to Chili's. I'm just like, oh my God. You guys need a new spot. Okay, so here are some topics that was given to me to discuss. Setting time aside for continuous learning, for example, learning signing agent forms, general notary work forms, state regulations, etc. Keeping up to date with social media platforms, making sure they are in sync, and diversifying your business by finding your niche. Okay, so let's start off with the setting time aside for continuous learning. You have to decide that the learning that you want is a priority. People will do what they prioritize, okay? And that's with any and everything you do. So if you make your continuous learning for your notary career a priority, you will get it done. Now, as far as learning the forms, okay, and I want you guys to be careful with that because the only thing that you should be concerned about when it comes to documents is the certificates. You need to know the certificates that you are going to be handling and filling out. You need to know if they are state compliant, if they are complete, if they are present. That's what you need to be learning, okay? And those same forms are going to be on real estate documents and general documents. Okay, these are the same forms that you need to familiarize yourself with. When it comes to you wanting to learn the documents, you don't need to know anything about the documents per se. But what you do need to know is the person before you the person listed in the document to sign in the first place? Sometimes people will bring documents to you and they're not even listed anywhere on there to sign the document. So why are they bringing you this document? That is super important. You need to review these documents to make sure that they are completed. People come to me all the time. They've printed the documents out. They haven't even filled them out. So I'm like, well, I can't notarize this as is, but I'll give you an ink pen and you can take your time and you can fill out the document where it needs to be filled out. Can you help them fill the document out? Yes, you can. Can you tell them what to put where? No. That is not your job. They need to know how to fill out the document. The only thing that you can do is you can guide them. If you notice that there's a line there that says they need to sign, tell them that your signature goes here. If it's a line there that says they need to print, tell them to print their name there. If there's a line there that says date, tell them to write the date. If you see a line that says for initials, tell them to put their initials. That is the type of guidance I'm talking about, okay? Things that are there that is apparent, okay? You should not be deciphering documents, telling them what the documents mean. We don't do that, okay? We don't tell them the how, we don't tell them the why. We can tell them the what. What is this? Right there. What is this? Right there. That's all we can do. Do we have a copy of a proper way to fill out the notary journal? Every notary journal is different. So it depends on what type of journal you have. I can assist you, Sharon, in filling out the journal. I have different types of journal pages in our member library if you check it out, and they're filled out. I have blank ones there and filled out ones. So it just depends on what journal you have, but there isn't a wrong way to fill out a journal. You're basically just filling in the blanks of what it's asking for. So like I said, it depends on what type of journal you have. And me and you can go over the journal because I know you're in the group, right? I think Sharon is in the group, in my member group. So yeah. Share a blank page of what your journal looks like. And I can go over it with you. But it's definitely dependent on what type of journal you have. And there are several journals out there. So there is no one size fits all for how to fill out the pages, unfortunately. Your state regulations. I don't care how many times I read my state handbook. I often find myself referencing it. So there is not ever going to be a time. Hi, Jay. There isn't ever going to be a time where you're not having to go back in there. I mean, it literally, you're always going to have to go back to that handbook because when can we use an electronic journal? Depends on your state. There are some states that allow it and there may be some that don't. I'm not sure of any states that don't allow it. But in Florida, if you're a notary in Florida, we are not required to even keep a notary journal. And unfortunately, some notaries don't. But your electronic journal, you can purchase the use of one. There's Notary Act and there's Jurat Inc. Okay. I made my own using software that I already have. And you just have to make sure that it meets all the requirements that are set for a journal entry. Now, what's so funny about Florida is we're not required to have a notary journal. But if you have a journal, there are required elements that need to be in each entry. It's like, what? How are you going to say it's not required? But then you tell us that the journal entry requires this information. Just say that a journal is required. So if you go on your state, your state handbook, if you're a Florida notary, it will tell you everything that's supposed to be in a journal entry. and you can use an electronic journal, just like you use a regular journal. I use an electronic journal. You also have an electronic journal if you're using, thank you, Nicole. You also have an electronic journal if you're an online notary, and that's not anything that you can use separate, like when you're out and about. It's only for the online platform. Did that answer your question, Anita? Okay, cool. Okay, so that was the question about the state regulations. You're always going to have to reference it, and you should. Okay, whenever a question comes about on the what and the how doing notary, don't go to Facebook. Please don't go to Facebook. Go to your state handbook, okay, and read what is required and how you should do it. And if you have questions on something you read in your handbook that you don't understand, you guys can ask me. I don't mind helping. Let's see. Keeping up to date with your social media platforms. I have told you guys, you need to use a social media content app, okay? They have apps where you can have all of your social media channels in one. That way you can monitor all of them at the same time, and you're not having to jump and juggle back and forth between the platforms, because that can become very tedious, especially when you're running a business and you're doing marketing. Like, that's just too much work for you to be jumping from platform to platform. Use one all-in-one social media content. I think it's a content planner. I think is what they call it. But you want to get one of those, okay? Hootsuite is one. What was another one I used? I used Hootsuite. Buffer. I used to use Buffer. I personally use Zoho Social. Okay, those are all some really good ones. And I'll type it in the chat for you guys. Social media content. It's not a social media content planner. Let me Google what it's called so I can say it right, because social media manager. It's a social media manager. Okay. Social media managing tool. And they're apps. So let me put them on here for you. Social media manager apps. Okay, you have Buffer, you have you have Hootsuite, you have Zoho Social, which I personally use. Now, I personally use all three of these because before I had my notary business, I had a skincare business that I had in 2013, and I closed it maybe 3-4 years ago. And then I had my travel agency, and I used to use it for that. And now I just only have my notary. So I've used all three, and I like all three. I only use Zoho Social now because I have a Zoho One subscription, and it includes several apps that I use all the time. So it just made sense for me to just stick with Zoho Social. But there are other ones out there that I have not used, but I know that they're out there because I've heard of other people using them. I just don't remember the name. But if you type into Google social media manager app, several of them will pop up, and then you can choose whichever one best fits your needs. All right, so there you go. I posted that for you guys. And then I'll share the journals too. You have Notary Act, and you have Jurat Inc. Those are the electronic notary journals that I am aware of. There's one more, but I don't remember the name of it. But post that in the chat for you guys. Electronic notary journal. There you go. All right. What other questions? Let me see. What else? Making sure they are in sync. Okay, doing that. Diversifying your business and finding your niche. How do you find your niche? Try out everything. Try out everything. I have literally done everything as far as notary goes. And there are some things that I did that I don't do anymore. Like I no longer wanted to do. I did the field inspections. I did the permit running. I even did the, what was the one where you were going to people's homes and you were knocking on their door and you were either leaving a letter saying, it was something about, there was a lawsuit and they were going to help them with, get money from a lawsuit or something like that. I don't remember. Did that too. Didn't like it. Didn't like field inspections. The permit running is okay, but it's not a niche. It's not a niche of mine. Processor, okay, yeah, maybe that's what it was. Yeah, I didn't like that. I did weddings. Weddings are okay. They're okay. They're fun. They're a lot more work than what I prefer to do, but they're fun. It's fun being a part of somebody's special day. What else have I done? Signing agent. Signing agent is cool. The one thing I don't like about signing agent is the waiting to be paid. I prefer to work directly with clients so that I can be paid within a week's time. Okay. And I do have clients that do that and I really prefer it. Not that I don't work for signing services. I do. I do. You just kind of gotta just take the good with the bad when it comes to that. Did the field inspection pay well? No, it did not. The most I've gotten paid for doing a field inspection is $50. And some of them take a little longer than I would like. I don't like to do all the driving and then you having to walk through and they have different type of field inspections. So I'm just only telling you from my experience. I've heard of others where they don't even have to go in the business. They just take pictures outside, I believe. I only did the inspections where I had to go inside the business, talk to the owner or the staff, take pictures of their documents showing that they are a legitimate business, take pictures of the inside of the business and the equipment, and I did not enjoy it. That's all. Okay. All right. Yeah, for me, I just didn't enjoy it. So it did not become a niche of mine. What else did I do? I do online notary. I like online notary. General notary is my thing. Specialty notary work, that's my thing. I love doing general notary because you never, I'm not going to say never, but you rarely come across the same thing over and over again. Like with real estate, it's like the same stuff, so like I've gotten used to seeing those documents. They all look the same, most real estate closings, they have a lot of the same documents. So just kind of used to it. But with general notary, you just get some new stuff. You'd be surprised at the things they want you to notarize. It's just like, really? Wow, okay. And I get a chance to go to different places. And overall with notary, period, I just enjoy meeting people and working with them. Because I've worked from home for several years now. And being able to get out and meet people, that is the highlight of my day when it comes to notary. So I absolutely love it. So yeah, do everything and do what works for you. Don't just do it just to be doing it. Okay, when I tell you guys, I cannot stress enough, all money is not good money. Just because it pays money doesn't mean you should be doing it. If you don't like it, don't do it. I don't care how much money it pays. There are just some things, I feel like you should do things that make you feel good. And there are just some things that I've done with Notary that I just did not enjoy, so I just choose not to do it. You're welcome, Jay. Where do I get my shirts from? Queensboro. I send them my logo and I pick the type of shirts I want and I order several of them. When I first started doing Notary, I was buying all of the business attire because, like I said, I work from home. So I work in my pajamas or, some jeans or, but when I became a notary, I'm like, it's my opportunity to start dressing professional and, looking like I work in an office. And I got tired of that. I got tired of every time I got called for a job, I got to figure out what I'm going to put on. So what did I do? I went and bought a bunch of different color slacks and I bought a bunch of polos with my business logo on it. And that's my notary uniform. I'm not dressing up for nothing. Now, I will dress up to go to like networking events if I feel like it. But for the most part, I'm rocking my polo and some work slacks. And I got some really comfortable loafers. I got different colors, bought them off of Amazon, and that's what I wear. It's comfortable and it's still professional. So queensboro.com. I'm going to type it into the chat here. And I like to go on there whenever they email me. Oh, I got a headache. Whenever they email me, they have a sale going on. That's when I order a bunch of shirts. Yeah, because you can't just order one. It costs too much to just order one shirt. So when they send you the coupons in your email, like at minimum, I order 3. 3 is the minimum. The most I've ordered before is like 5 or 6, I believe. And the more you order, I feel like the cheaper or the more of a discount you get. Yes, they are. And I still got some other colors that I want to get, Nicole. I love my little loafers. Where are they at? I had to buy some new ones because I have worn them so much. They were starting to do like this. Oh, got some food on this one. Okay. These loafers, guys, I got them. I get these at on Amazon. I think they're like $40, but they're so freaking comfortable. So freaking comfortable. I got several different colors, and I love it. Yes, Jay, definitely. And I think that was all the topics. Yeah, that was all the topics that was shared with me. Did you guys, yes, Notary Gadget is a good tool to use. If you are not using QuickBooks, Notary Gadget is the go-to. And I heard that Notary Gadget has an electronic journal now. Electronic notary journal in the app. Somebody else told me that. So yes, definitely. I don't use Notary Gadget. I never have because I already have a bookkeeping software that I use. But those who don't already have a bookkeeping software, Notary Gadget is definitely something you want to use. Because I hear it's designed just for notaries. So you should find it very useful. Okay, so I don't see any more topics to discuss. You're welcome, Anita. So I'm just here for you guys. What you want to talk about? Drop it in the comments. Or drop it in the chat. I'm sorry. I'm not on Facebook. Let me see. No. No. They let the cat in. For the Apostle, where do I find the training? It's going to be on the Academy website. Hold on, I'll share the link. Notary Education, grp.com. And then you are going to go to courses. Go to courses. And then it'll show you all the courses I have there. And Apostle is one of them. One of the free courses available. You just had to come in here, huh? Mm-hmm. I can't do nothing. This cat of mine's, y'all. This is Princess. When I got Princess, I adopted her from a woman who bottle fed her. And so she is very spoiled, and she is a lap baby, literally. Hello, Mila. Did I pronounce your name right? Let me know if you have, hey, Stephanie. I just got done discussing all your topics, so you're going to have to watch the replay. I was asking everyone if they had any other topics they wanted me to discuss, because I am done with the topics that was given to me. These kids. Okay, Anita is in Florida. I'm looking at the chat here. Okay, Anita, so yeah, you can definitely use an electronic journal, because in Florida we can. And it is such a is how to price apostles in the training. I don't think so. So when it comes to pricing apostles, we don't price them. The Secretary of State. So let me explain. Okay. When it comes to apostles, guys, we don't issue them. Okay. Notaries don't issue apostles. The Secretary of State does. So what we are a facilitating agent. Okay. What that means is we are doing it for them. Okay. Because all they got to do is go on sunbiz.org and read the instructions. The instructions are right there on the website. And travel.gov, the instructions are on that website too. All you have to do is read the instructions and do what it says. Now, the reason why they use notaries is because we know how the documents need to be notarized. Okay, we know how they should be filled out. So I have one customer, he comes to me all the time to get his documents apostle. And he did it himself before. And he said, you know, he sent the documents. He said it took about 3-4 weeks for him to get the documents back, only to find out that he didn't do it right. So then he had to have something done. And then he sent it back again, waited another 4 weeks, and then he finally got the apostle. So he was just like, I don't want to go through that again. So when he went through me, I have a runner in in Tallahassee. I have a runner. So if you have to notarize the documents, you notarize them. Okay. If you don't have to notarize them, then you're just filling out the cover letter and you're just sending it. And this is for Florida. I'm not speaking for any other state. This is for Florida. You're just filling out the cover letter and sending the documents. Okay. They want original documents or notarized documents only. And you're mailing it to the Secretary of State, or you're mailing it to your runner. Okay. And your runner is taking it to the Secretary of State for you. And she's picking, mine is a she. She's picking it up for me. And she's sending it back. Now, why do I use a runner as opposed to just mailing it right to the Secretary of State? Because if there is any issue, the Secretary of State is not going to call you and say, hey, you know, we noticed that you missed a stamp, or hey, we noticed that we need an additional document. They're not going to call you and tell you that. They're just going to put your information in queue to get sent back out to you, not done. And then you're going to find out whenever you get it back in the mail that it was incorrect and that you have to send it back. Well, with my runner, if there's any issue, she can communicate that to me because she's in Tallahassee. So if she goes and gives them the document and they give it back to her and say, we're missing something, she can call me. Hey, they rejected your document because they said it was missing something. So what I can do is I can send her the missing element, and then she can go back up there and get it done for me. She doesn't fax. She scans the document, letting me know that it was completed and everything is good, and she lets me know that she's mailing it back. I get a tracking number, my documents get back. My customers have their documents back within a week. So that's why I use a runner. She is my go-to person to make sure that I'm not waiting 3-4 weeks to get my customers' documents back. And my customers get their documents back in a timely fashion and make sure it's all correct, because they don't really know. They follow the instructions and then they just send what they think is required, and sometimes it's wrong. So that's why they come to notaries, because they know that we know the process. Some of us do. And it's important that you learn the process. And how do you learn the process? Read the instructions on the website. All of the Secretary of State websites have the instructions on what they need for you to send. Okay? Now, if a customer comes to me and they need their documents notarized and then apostilled, I'm charging the notarization fee, and I'm charging them the apostle fee for the Secretary of State. What do I charge to facilitate? I'm not really doing much, so I just charge about $15. Some people charge anywhere from $15 to $50. Okay, I'm not doing that much work. Especially if I'm not notarizing a document, I'm not doing anything but just making sure that the information is correct, filling out the cover letter, writing the check for the Secretary of State, and making sure the shipping label and everything is correct, and I'm mailing it off. Call my girl, let her know something's gonna be in the mail for you in a couple of days, and that's it. Now, let's say that I have to do some extra stuff. Let's say, and this is for Florida. Now, let's say somebody contacts me and they need me to send something outside of Florida. Then I have to do a little bit more research. I have to do a little bit more work. So yeah, the facilitation fee will be increased. But I think that $15 is a nominal fee to charge for you not doing so much work, but still making a profit on the work being done. Does that make sense? It makes sense to you guys? Yes, no, maybe so. Did you guys have any more questions about apostles? Okay, cool. So I didn't, oh, you know what? I did want to talk about something. So if you are in a state where you are allowed, or it is acceptable for you to take foreign passports, okay? It is very important that if you are taking the foreign passport, that you make sure that they have a visa stamp in there. The visa stamp actually has an expiration date on it. And so you want to make sure that that visa in their passport is not expired. I had 2 customers that came to me with a foreign passport, and now that I know I'm supposed to be looking, you're welcome, ain't it? Now I know I'm supposed to be looking for this visa stamp in there. A lot of people have this foreign passport with this expired visa stamp in there. And I didn't realize it until I took the I-9 training, which is free. Excuse me. You just have to go to the USCIS website and sign up for one of their webinars. Also on this USCIS website tells you about the different ID types for immigrants. And the foreign passport visa stamp is one of them. And it's not a visa, it's not called a visa stamp, it's called something else. But if you look on there, you will be able to see an example of what the stamp looks like. And for those of you who are in my member group, the Crafty Notary, Ayana, she did share how that looks in our group. So I don't know if you got a chance to look at it, but I'll share it again if I find, I'll go on the website and I'll find the sample picture. But it's an actual picture, and it's printed onto the foreign passport when they come here. Some of them have a year clearance, and some people who get it and they're able to get a ID. They use that to go ahead and get them an ID. So if a person comes to you and they have a foreign passport in this acceptable form, you want to check for this visa stamp. And I know it's not called a visa stamp, but that's top off my head. That's what I can think of to call it. But it's called something else. If you go on the USCIS website, you'll see that. And if they have the foreign passport, but they are a U.S. citizen now, you want to ask them if they have a state ID. Okay? I'd rather take the state ID as opposed to the foreign passport, especially if you have it. Now, if they don't have it, you know, and it's an acceptable form of ID for you, you can take it. Just make sure that visa stamp is not expired. Like I said, I had 2 people just recently come to me and their visa stamp is expired. So, because you know, one of my questions from the notary process video that I did, one of my questions is, do you have valid ID? Oh, yes, I have a foreign passport. So now my next question is, oh, you have a foreign passport? Is your visa stamp expired? And they get quiet. Oh, well, if it's expired, then what? Then I wouldn't be able to take your passport. It wouldn't be valid to be used for notary. And they're like, oh, okay. So yeah, I had to turn 2 people away for that reason. So make sure that you're checking, and I'll make sure to share that stamp in the group. I wonder if I can share it. No, I can't. No. I was going to say, I wonder if I can share it in the chat here, but I don't think I can. So yeah, I'll just post it. And did you guys know that YouTube has posts now? I can make like posts like I would like on Facebook or Instagram. No, I think it's more like Facebook. But yeah, so if you ever get a notification that I made a post, definitely check it out. You're welcome, Jay. All right, guys, so it's 9 o'clock. It's a little over 9 o'clock. I usually do these for 30 minutes. I'm happy I was able to do it uninterrupted. So I guess 8:30 is going to be my time now to go live on Mondays with you guys to make sure that I make myself available for any questions you have. I'm going to ask you guys one more time. Do you have anything else that you want to ask me before I go? You are very welcome, guys. I'm happy to do it. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, I'm going to go. You guys have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you again next Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Have a good night. Bye.